friends back to Qualinost. Here Tanis met again a young woman to whom he had once been engaged, daughter of the Speaker of the Suns, Laurana. She loved Tanis, but he no longer loved her. His love for Kitiara still burned inside him, and he broke off their engagement because of his divided heart. Though her brothers and father had not approved anyway, for Tanis had human blood in his veins. The elves persuaded Tanis and his friends to go to the city of Feal-Thas, ruled by dragon Highlord Verminaard. Tanis and his friends planned to start a slave revolt, hoping to keep the dragon armies, which threatened the elves, from launching an attack on the elf kingdom, allowing the elves to escape safely into exile. The friends, accompanied by Gilthanas as guide, set out for Feal-Thas. Hurt by Tanis's rejection, Laurana ran away from home to be with him. He tried to send her back, but she willfully refused. On their way to Feal-Thas, they were joined by a man named Eben Shatterstone, who claimed to be running from the dragon armies, but who was in reality a spy for the dragon Highlord Verminaard. The heroes sneaked into Feal-Thas and mingled with the slaves. Here they met a man named Elistan. He was dying of a wasting disease when Goldmoon, a new follower of the goddess of healing, Meshakal, prayed to the goddess on his behalf. Elistan was cured and asked to know more about these gods. Goldmoon gave him the discs of Meshakal and found that he was able to read them. He became a cleric of Paladine and worked to bring knowledge of the true gods to the rest of the people enslaved in Feal-Thas. Tanis and his friends led the slaves in revolt and killed Verminaard. 800 men, women, and children fled south and managed to evade pursuit. They holed up in caves, hoping to be able to spend the winter there. Meanwhile, an Auric Draconian masquerading as Verminaard marshaled a force of red dragons and set off in pursuit of the former slaves who were forced to flee the valley and seek refuge with the dwarves in their lost kingdom of Thorbarden. These adventures are related in the book Dragons of the Dwarven Depths. During this time, Laurana continued traveling with the group. Danger, sorrow, and fear forced her to grow up. The once spoiled and willful girl grew into a serious, thoughtful young woman. She used the skills she had learned in her father's court to assist Elistan in his work, and Tanis found himself charmed by this beautiful young woman, so different from the girl he had known. He began to fall in love with her and became torn. Which woman did he truly love? As for Laurana, her love for him never wavered. After much hardship and peril, the heroes found and restored the Hammer of Karas to the dwarves. In return, the dwarves permitted the refugees to remain in Thorbarden until they could find safe passage to new homes. Tanis and his group set out to the seaport city of Tarsus, there to buy passage on the white-winged ships for the refugees who sought a new homeland. Their trek and adventures along the way are described in Dragons of the Winter Night. As for Kitiara of Matar, she followed a different path from that of her friends. Whereas they walked the path of light, she walked a path that led to darkness. She joined the dragon armies of Queen Takesis, and it was not long before Kitiara's skill and ambition caused her to rise to become Dragon Highlord of the Blue Dragon Army, known to most of Ansalon as the Blue Lady. The individual adventures of Kitiara and Laurana and what happens to them at this point in time have never been told, until now. In the book Dragons of the Highlord Skies, the two women in the life of Tanis Half-elven each go on separate journeys whose perils will lead both of them to face their greatest challenges. I myself play a small part in this tale. It all begins. Book 1. Prologue. Over 300 years had passed since he had last heard the sound of a human voice, or rather, since he last heard a human speak. He had heard screams since then, screams from those who had come to Dargaard Keep to confront him, screams that ended in gurgling gasps as they choked on their own blood. Lord Soth had no patience with such fools. He had no patience with those who came seeking his storied treasure. He had no patience with